What's your name and where are you from?
Hey, I'm Sam, and my short answer is from everywhere, but I used to live in the DMV area for almost a decade.
Mm. So growing up in the DMV, early childhood, what was fashion like to you?
So I didn't get to the DMV until I was around 20.
Oh, okay.
So before that, I was in Tampa. I went to high school in Vegas. I had a smattering of San Francisco and LA in there. So once I got here, it was weird because I was in college. I had never had a real job before. So I kind of had to take everything in my background and put it all together and then go work at the State Department in a blazer. So it was a weird time when I lived here because we were going out clubbing in like pencil skirts and office wear and that whole like early 2000s, like 2012-ish era of fashion. So it's kind of an ugly time. And it hurts that Gen Z is trying to recreate it, but they have way better resources now. But the DMV helped shape my knowledge and spectrum of fashion, if we want to put it in that term.
And where's that fashion today? How do you express yourself?
By mood. Oh my goodness. I get dressed by mood and to-dos. I work in retail still, and so I know if I've got to go do a lot of manual labor, I'm going to throw on some Adidas Sambas, I'm going to throw on some barrel jeans, maybe like a little fitted t-shirt, and I'm going to grab like an oversized boyfriend blazer or something. But if I want to have a princess day where I'm not lifting a finger and I'm only styling, oh, it's long dresses, it's boho chic. So mine just depends on what personality I wake up that morning. And then my days off, I guess half the time I'm in a baseball hat looking like Adam Sandler, which sucks because I live in a small town now and people see you out, but I just let them know that I'm a diverse range of human
Mm.
and you get to see all the facets of me.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like, you have a talent for figuring out different ways to kind of style yourself. So what
Yeah.
would your advice be to someone who has like no style at all?
I would say definitely look at your budget because that's going to help frame where you shop, whether it be thrifting, whether it be secondhand like Poshmark, because you can shop at Walmart and still have good style. So budgeting is where you can start because you need to know what tangible assets you have to begin with. And then the second layer of that is, who am I? What does my lifestyle look like? If you're a tactile person, make a list, write it down. Like, I go to work, these are the errands I run, this is what my work dress code is. And then you can start doing research online as well. You don't need to pay someone like me, even though I prefer that, but you can start from the ground up of doing your own research. So say you have someone's style that you like online, you can kind of go through, and now we have so many tools online. You can throw a screenshot of it into Chat GPT and literally ask it to shop for you, and you can fill that out on the interface, which is, we'll probably get to it, but I work for an AI app that is going to do that for you. But you just have to start wanting to dress better. It starts with that fire inside of you, and stay true to who you are, because if it feels uncomfortable, don't wear it. No one is forcing you to dress any type of way now, because with the infiltration of social media and the internet in general into all of our lives, you have the ability to show up and be whoever you want to. Just because some influencer is telling you this is trendy, we've all seen the trend cycles last like maybe a month or two now. But just be who you are, express your personality, because the way you dress and you show up into a room is what people read first. As much as we'd like to deny that socially, we make 12 assumptions about people within the first 30 seconds of meeting them. And that's just your subconscious brain. So be true to yourself, wear what feels comfortable, and don't be scared to dabble in places that are unknown.
You mentioned eras earlier, so how would you describe like the different eras throughout your life that you've experienced and like what do you look forward to today and later in the future?
So my eras have been interesting because I didn't grow up realizing that fashion was a career. I followed it. I loved magazines, Vogue, Cosmopolitan, all from a really young age. But I didn't know that being a stylist was a job title until I kind of fell into it. My eras kind of have matched my lifestyle. And I've never been a person that carried shame or social uncomfortability. So I've always liked to push the edge. I've always been that person, like, you give me an inch, I'm going to take a mile. So got to have a lot of fun. And it was hard mental health wise and psychologically moving so much as a kid, but it helped me learn how to be a chameleon and adapt to my surroundings. And I kind of got to reinvent myself each time. Like, let's be a better person. Let's try this new styling. And so I got to shop in a lot of different places. I got to do a lot of experiences that regular people didn't do. Like when I lived in Vegas, I could go to all the shops in the Bellagio and I would call them fashion field trips. And what I didn't realize at the time is I was doing market research like how I do now. But I just thought it was fun window shopping because I grew up poor and window shopping was how we stayed entertained, and I felt cool, but I just couldn't afford it. And then now I'm an adult and I can do secondhand and I can find these things. And so I can look at my closet now and find pieces and be like, that's where that was like my Vegas area and this was my DMV area. And I definitely, when I lived in California, picked up a lot of style there. I definitely felt like that was my biggest transformation because I didn't work in a corporate setting. I worked just in retail. And so I could bring who I was to that brand and show people how to expand their minds while using pieces that they wouldn't have thought could be mixed in.
What makes a good stylist versus a great stylist?
I think a good stylist is someone who they know what's trending. They obviously can understand the body types and color theory somewhat, and they live around it. They have opinions, but a great stylist is someone who's going to ask their customer or their person, they're going to ask them questions. You get to know them. You get to know what makes them tick, what excites them in the morning, because all of that psychological stuff actually does matter. It doesn't matter what trends I know or what color is hot. I need to know like what your body shape is, what fabrics and textiles lay well across a man. If you've got wide shoulders, I got to give you stretch. You have to have mobility because people look at clothes like standing up. Human beings are not 2D, we're 3D. We have movement. You want to be able to wear your clothes through the day. So it's psychological, it's textile. Color theory is like so hard to nail down, but learning that's like spring, summer, fall, winter, and then you get into the mixtures and the deeper than that, and that matters too because certain nude colors like just don't work on me, and I've had to learn that the hard way. But just really thinking about details and learning alterations and being able to have the eye for, oh, I picked this jacket up, it doesn't fit them perfectly, but if I make a pin here and I make a pin here and I take it to a good alterations person, you can make a whole new garment. So that's another thing. And then being organized in somewhat of a creative field, you could be chaotically organized, but writing things down, taking notes, utilizing AI tools for your customers or your clients, that's definitely been really helpful, is keeping track of things.
Who has the worst style you've ever seen?
Um, Oh Lord, there's a lot of people. I think my brain blacks them out because it doesn't have this. My memory card is not large enough to take note of those people. Immediately, I thought my mom, but I've trained her. I mean, my stepdad was definitely a project. We'll just throw my dad under the bus because, Lord, that man works in athletics and he showed up to Easter Sunday at church on my birthday in like athletic shorts and a sweatshirt with the sleeves cut off and a t-shirt, and I about fell over. He lives there. I mean, 90% of the like population in Montgomery, Alabama, where I work, they literally keep me employed because they don't know how to dress. So that's pretty, I mean, people that don't know how to dress keep me employed, which is really wonderful. So keep not knowing how to dress. Just reach out to your local stylist and we will take care of you and we'll boost your confidence. I promise. I half the time I'm a therapist and I just put clothes on your body. So that
How
was a
can
mean answer. Everyone's a project.
how can someone entering fashion today utilize AI?
Um, oh my goodness. All the ways. So step one would be I love to take references from Fashion Week. Chloe is one of my favorite brands. The price point is absolutely unattainable at full price. But what I'll do is I through Instagram, I'll take screenshots and I'll put it into AI and say, hey, find me 5 brands that sell shirts like this. Because I mean, obviously I know what a ruffle is. I know what a bias cut is, a V-neck, like those things, chiffon, satin, silk. But the average consumer, that's not like vocabulary words that usually take up space in your brain. So just take a screenshot, throw it in Chat GPT and even ask like, what is this? And it'll describe it all for you. You don't have to give it some complex prompt. People think prompting is so difficult and it's so hard because it's so simple. That's where the issues come in. So just tell it what you want. Put a screenshot in. Say, I mean, I've tested the limits of it before for a side project of show me where I can get this exact shirt or something almost like it within a 50-mile radius in a size medium that's in stock within this budget range. Show me the addresses and give me their phone numbers. You can go that crazy with it. AI is there to help, and I definitely think with some of the upgrades of Google Shopping and shopping within OpenAI, which I think is still going. They launched it and then they unlaunched it, and I think it's back. It's there to help you, but it's not always going to take into account your body shape. So you could take and upload a photo. You just also have to remember, like, you need to go in person. Always support your local brick and mortars. We have got to keep people in business because COVID really hurt. Online shopping really hurt. And it's fun because as a consumer, go touch the fabrics, go open every tag in America legally has to tell you what textile makeup it is. Learn what textiles you like, learn what looks good across your body. Have your AI open on your app when you're shopping and take pictures. Like, just kind of honestly, just be really curious. And if you try something and it doesn't work, just return it. Keep the tags on, please. Like, that's a little bit of starter info.
If you went to the Met Gala, how would you style yourself?
I would have so much fun because I'm not scared to wear crazy makeup, crazy hair, transform myself. I wouldn't go as far as like Heidi Klum does, where she does the whole like mask transformation. I loved her outfit this past one. She essentially became like a walking stone. It was crazy, but I would fully go into theme and think really, really meta about it. Just like so deep, an if you know reference. This past one, I saw some AI mock-ups and I thought they were real. AI got me. And I was so excited because they were so good. But then I went and found what the celebrities actually wore. And I was like sadly let down. Also, the Bezos ran the Met Gala this year. So like capitalism is ruining art. Just one thing at a time. They can't just let us have the Met Gala. But I would have gone really, really deep thinking, like there's this painting in Pisa. In Pisa, Italy, there's this above ground burial ground, a graveyard. There's an above ground graveyard, and it's like 15 feet and like probably 20 feet wide of the 7 levels of hell and then heaven above it. And I probably would have taken a reference from there because when I saw it, I sat in front of it for like an hour and just like kind of sobbed and thought and got really introspect. And it wouldn't have been a basic painting like that, you go to a Van Gogh showing or you go inside the Louvre and see. I would have taken something from that and picked like one character from it that really like hit my heart and spoke to me. And I probably would have just done that and maybe not made it costumey, but really, really like the makeup is part of it, the hair. I would have had a lot of fun. I would like to go. Someone sponsor me.
Tell us some of the horror stories with clients.
Oh my gosh. I have this one, and it's the most simple story that sticks out. This girl called me a bitch in a review online, and my bosses were laughing about it and thought it was hilarious because I'm not a bitch to customers. And I had to make that distinction. But like, I'm so nice at work. Like, you're literally making sure I keep a job and I have to pay my rent. And this girl wrote back in her review for Rent the Runway, just, she is a bitch, period. And I was just like, you've got to be kidding me, because I knew exactly who she was. She didn't like her own body. She was having a bad day and she took it out on me. And I didn't think it was funny, but everybody else did. So that was kind of a horror story. As a like bleeding liberal feminist, I had to work at a ball gown shop during the Trump inauguration. So 90% of those 6 months that we dressed people, those were the worst customers. I would go home and cry and not knowing I was crying every day. So all of them were pretty horrible. I think like 3 months ago, I was trying to sell this North Face jacket and a guy pulled his gun out and said, and asked if he could try it in the pocket. So that was pretty horrific as someone who has lived in states where like guns are a no. But now it's kind of funny. But yeah, no, I've got stories all over the
Wait, so
place.
did it fit?
It did fit. And also Ariat, the Western company, they actually sell conceal carry jackets, I found
Mm.
out. So I sell those like crazy.
Mm.
Yeah. So shout out to Ariat. You can take your gun with you safely.
When you're styling, do you view it as like a pure art form? Like there wouldn't be like anyone you wouldn't style. Like,
Um, I think for the my styling services can be bought. Money is money, and life is expensive. And
like Putin.
I think they have their own little uniform situation there. So, I mean, I don't think, I mean, maybe advise, but I think there are like certain limits, but like,
Oh, what global like influences do you like when it comes to fashion? Different styles from different countries. Have you explored that?
I haven't explored that too heavy, but I definitely like how East Asian textiles, I like more the manufacturing side of stuff. I was telling Phil, like, textiles and manufacturing has become like an obsession of mine. It might not be styles these days of picking it up from other countries. I've become obsessed with like the farming and how people are making things now. If anybody, Stella McCartney, there's this book called Fashionopolis that Dana, I can't remember her last name, this woman named Dana wrote. I read it in grad school, and it talks about how Stella McCartney is taking mushrooms and the properties from that and making faux leather. And now they're not making it just soft leather, they're making buffalo leather and all different types of leathers out of natural fabrics, because Stella McCartney doesn't use animal products. And so I become obsessed with things like that. And then regenerative cotton, they're not using chemicals in it. It is a higher price point, but you do have to pay to play these days to have clean fabrics, because your body is full of pores. What you wear puts chemicals in it. It's a whole TED talk anyways on that. But finding out that companies are cleaning out the ocean of plastic and they're taking it, turning it into recycled polyester. Those are the things that I'm loving, out like I've gone past kind of the style world into like the other 90% of the value chain of it. And my eyes got opened through Parsons on that because I thought, oh, I know style, I have a lookbooks, I have a portfolio. And then I went to the number one fashion school in America and they were like, oh, sweetie, you're about to really learn. And that's where I became like, oh, the clothes are cool and all, but how are the clothes made? Who's making these clothes? Like what seeds, where are they getting their seeds from? And then that led me down the rabbit hole of like luxury perfume and how those are made. And so I kind of have gone past just like, oh, this country makes cool clothes. I've gone, what's this country producing to make the clothes is how I nerd out on my free time.
What advice would you give to people starting their own clothing brand today?
Figure out who your customer is or who you want your customer to be. You are never going to make everybody happy. Find your initial group because yes, bubbles grow and word of mouth and like coolness grows. Find out who your target market is and just feed them. Like find the influencers that are around it, find the restaurants they go to, make Spotify playlists targeted towards them, like grow your brand to serve them and create a sense of urgency that they tap into. Because not everybody's into the exclusive drops, not everybody is into one of one pieces. So find what makes your consumer tick. And the only way you're going to find that is by tapping into them, like going in, putting yourself in rooms with these people, going in, I don't know, just doing like a temperature check with a group of them, interview them, pay them, give them Amazon gift cards and ask them questions. Like however you have to get that tangible knowledge, use it, but you have to know who you want to speak to because you're going to have a higher conversion rate and better KPIs on the economic side of your brand when you are getting 50 people out of 75 to buy it. When you're trying to make everyone happy, like you're not going to get that high of a conversion with your consumer.
Let's say you were the owner of a high-end fashion brand. What type of look would you go for summer 2026?
I love I'm such a mix. I'm in like streetwear today with like sparkly ballet flats on. I love like a good basics with hero pieces. So if I was gonna do a high luxury, like budget, manufacturing budget didn't matter and like margins didn't matter, I would go fully clean products um, made in like reputable factories where the people get paid well. Reference like the shoe company Veja. I would try to get into like their cotton factories, like where Fairdy is. I would try to get into like Southern Tide with their company doing the recycled polyester. I would try to get into these companies that have these factories that have the clean manufacturing. I'd make solid basics that fit well. And then I would make the hero pieces with like hand beading. I would do like, I feel like my capsule collections per season, so like summer, we could maybe, let's say, focus on East Asia where they do the fine silks and they do the hand embroidery and the beading. And I would want it to be all hand done because hero pieces you can charge a higher price point, but then you mix it with the basics so that that piece just stands out and nothing is like clouding the consumer from wanting to buy it. I would really focus on the artistry and the textiles if I did a brand, but I can't draw. So I never went to the designing side, even though I have opinions, but I never went to that side of it all.
Who's the worst dressed celebrity?
Oh my God, so many of them. Well, we were talking about this the other day, Ice Spice. Like, we talked about in the car, like some female rappers. I'm just like, please stop. Like, your music is good. I don't need to see you like 2/3 of the way naked. and I love to celebrate the female body. I think it's a beautiful thing, like free the nipple, all of it. But the problem is that these 13-year-old girls are not learning self-worth through their brains and the way they communicate. They're learning it through their butt cheeks hanging out. And women are so much more complex than that. We're so much more worth, like we have so much more value to bring to this world rather than validating who we are from a man's perspective, because like we have so many women fought the feminist movement so that we could even get paid 80 cents on the dollar for every man. And then like these women have all the means in the world to dress well and they still don't. So it blows my mind that some of these women out here, they're killing me. You can use your platform for a little better.
So how would you dress up Sexy Red?
I would still stick with like, I would pick one thing. If you're gonna have your boobs out, have your boobs out. Like I would still, you could still wear a short skirt. You can still do it, but you can still dress that way, but I would make like the seam line an inch longer. Like I would, instead of, I would pull, like, cause she's got a great waist and a wonderful bust line. Like I would, instead of her skirt being a mini skirt straight across, I would heighten the waist a little bit and I would tuck it in to make her waist look even smaller. But we could, because you're doing that, you can add an inch lower. Like instead of, I would put her in like pointed boots, but there'd be the pointed boots like that. I forget who did it. I think it was Stella McCartney or Balenciaga did it. They call it toe cleavage. Like it would be a deep pointed shoe, but have a deep point through the toe. So like little details to elevate it because the woman has the money to do it. And to show like I can still be so feminine and strong and say whatever I want to, but also in a little bit of a classier way because she is speaking to such a younger generation that is already going through so much that I can't even wrap my head around it. This poor generation with social media and all of it, it overwhelms me even thinking about the psychological things that they're going through. She could be just a better role model to make their lives a little bit easier because no one takes their generation seriously already. So you kind of gotta dress the part a little bit more to be taken seriously because like these little girls that look up to these female rappers and musicians, they're not in those places. They're the ones that are getting regular jobs like I have. And you just gotta, they don't know the difference between this woman dresses like this in a music video, but she's dressing way different in a boardroom. They're only seeing what she puts out on social media and they're not able to wrap their heads around there's a time and a place for everything. So just a little bit, just little tweaks, but still stick with who she is because that's her brand.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Oh my gosh, let's start from the beginning. No, I'm kidding. That's a big loaded question for someone who likes to yap and has a lot of opinions, but I definitely wish that I could change where we started our society as a matriarchy, not a patriarchy, the way that the animal kingdom runs. Female lions run the pack, and that's just someone to begin with. And women are the givers of life. And somehow, somewhere, we became absolute second class citizens, and still to this day in 2026 are fighting to not be second class citizens. And I think that's where, a lot of research has been done, like women leadership, things get done quicker. Things are a little more organized. Yes, we're emotional, but that's why we would have male counterparts. And that's why you have diversity within gender and you have diversity within race and culture and religion in a business. And I think women are way more open to that because we take feedback, we're not intimidated by it. And I think that society we would be in a way better place. So I would start there. Yeah. If we could just change it.
So get rid of men.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no, absolutely not. No, I would not get rid of men because women, we like a male perspective. Like I love having my male friends, and I dress men all day. I think you guys are hilarious, and um you guys bring everybody needs a different point of view. I love diversity in a room, whether it be culture, background, age, race, religion, like all of it. I want diversity. I thrive in it. I just think that y'all just operate different in a, it feels like in a, like, bring people down versus bring people up, because men, I feel like, are, well, you guys are the fighters. So you're just, from the get-go, your brain is in hunt, fight, lead, kill, like, and so you can't say that that hasn't timed out of historical genetics. And I think women, we were the caregivers, and we wanted everyone taken care of, and we wanted everyone to thrive. And that's just the difference between the two. And I mean, we can see it flat out right now. Like, we won't even get into those thoughts, but yeah, with like what's going on, I think that's a very clear that human beings haven't developed in our brains as much as we think we have. So, yeah, that's that.
I had a question. I lost it. Hold on.
I know we've gone down some rabbit
I
holes,
know.
deep rabbit holes.
Oh my gosh, my brain is fried. It was a good question too.
What did I talk about?
Oh, okay. Last question, right?
Okay, last question.
So
Yeah.
when you think about, let's just say, any historical moment, in the present or in the past, I always think about how, like, when people are wearing certain outfits and certain things, it becomes like iconic. So I wanted to know if you have any like favorites, if that makes sense, like
Yeah.
moments that where the outfit like became memorable as well.
I have a few. Um, I am an outward open Swiftie. I loved when she wore the color block dress. It was orange and a full pink skirt. That one sticks out in my brain a lot because it opened my mind to color blocking in general. And then I loved another one that sticks out in my brain is like, it was just so beautiful and detailed, was the Matthew Williams dress that Kendall Jenner wore to the Met Gala. It was all hand beaded, and it was like clear crystals. It was I think it was when he was with Dior, I want to say. But don't quote me on that. I can't remember because I'm on the spot. But it was this beautiful Audrey Hepburn reference. And the gown was just like, when I saw it, it took my breath away. It doesn't have any like true tangible historical background of like life-changing moments. But for me, it was one of those, I was like, I lost my breath seeing it, because the dress, like clothing has that ability for me where it can make me emotional. It makes me feel some type of way. That dress was just so gorgeous that I just had a moment, like just in awe of it, and I couldn't stop looking at the pictures of it, of the dress. Like, yes, it was on Kendall Jenner, which is really hard to fuck up clothes on someone who's like just proportionally put together very well. But that lives rent free in my mind on a regular basis of like a beautiful ball gown.
Awesome. So again, what's your name and how can people find you?
I'm Sam. My Instagram is the only way you can find me because I'm social media illiterate. It's at Sam R Lowery, Lowery. So just Instagram, Sam R Lowery. You'll find me there.
Thank you.
Thank you.